We've got our goalkeeper, our back four, our midfield dynamos, and our striking sensations. Now all we need is someone who can manage all of those enormous egos, get them well drilled and tactically prepared. This is the final video ahead of our HITC Sevens all-time 11, which will come out this time next week, and it was probably tougher than any of the player sevens. Comparing the talents of players, especially those from different eras, can be a tricky business. But comparing managers is a whole other ballgame. There are so many different factors to take into account, such as success, longevity, exceeding expectations, influence, and innovation. You have to weigh all those factors up to try and come up with any kind of a definitive list. For example, how do you compare someone like Guy Roux, who spent 44 years at a single club, guiding them from absolute nobodies to Ligue 1 champions and 4-time cup winners, to someone like Arrigo Sacchi, who spent only 4 years at AC Milan but developed one of the greatest sides ever known, albeit with a plethora of incredible talents. Then there's a coach like Jimmy Hogan, who revolutionised the way in which football was played in Europe but never even won a major trophy. Try and compare him with someone like MICHELS, who has won 33 trophies as a manager, but mostly in Romania and Ukraine. Well, that's the challenge that we had to set ourselves. As such, the factors that you may weight more heavily mean you will most likely disagree with our 7. But it'd be no fun if everyone agreed anyway, would it? Here are our 7 greatest managers of all time. Brian Clough. In 7th place is a man incredibly difficult to rank. Some would argue that Clough is the greatest manager of all time. Others would be outraged that he even makes this 7. What he did with Derby County and Nottingham Forest was nothing short of sensational though. To guide both clubs from the 2nd Division to the dizzying heights of champions of England in Derby's case, and 2-time champions of Europe in Forest's case, must rank among the greatest managerial achievements the game has ever known. Clough was a maverick, but he struggled without his brilliant assistant Peter Taylor. He also won only one 1st Division title throughout his entire career, was sacked at Leeds, had a number of mid-table finishes, and was eventually relegated at Forest. All in all, we think 7th is a fair ranking. Jose Mourinho. It's easy to cast aspersions against Jose Mourinho right now. As we pointed out in a recent video, Jose seems to have been a changed man since his time in Madrid, but we ought not forget the work he did for 10 years before joining Real. He won 6 trophies at Porto, most notably the Champions League, a wonderful achievement given the relative talents and budgets of Porto's European rivals. Even with enormous financial backing, he did a tremendous job establishing Chelsea as a force within the English game, and he then went off and won a historic treble at Inter Milan. Jose always seemed to have a trick up his sleeve, a way to beat his opponents and get the best out of his players. That seems to have diminished following his move to Real Madrid in 2010, but he has still won 8 trophies since then. All in all, Mourinho has won 2 league titles in Portugal, 3 in England, 2 in Italy and 1 in Spain, as well as 2 Champions Leagues and 15 other trophies. Valeriy Lobanovskyi. Probably the least well-known manager in this 7 internationally, Valeriy Lobanovskyi ticks all the boxes of a brilliant manager. He had remarkable success, winning 30 trophies, real longevity with 30 years of managerial experience, exceeded expectations as the first Soviet manager to win a major European honour, and innovation with his pioneering scientific coaching methods. Lobanovskyi is best known for his time with Dynamo Kiev, where he won 12 league titles, 2 UEFA Cup Winners' Cups, and 15 other trophies. The Ukrainian boss was a strict disciplinarian who employed revolutionary, strict, systematic, and scientific methods. Kiev became the first Soviet side to win a major European honour under him in 1975, winning the treble that year following a 3-0 win over Bayern Munich in the UEFA Super Cup. He repeated the feat once more in 1986, beating Atletico Madrid 3-0 in the final of the Cup Winners' Cup. Bob Paisley. Another managerial career which can be viewed at from a number of angles, no one can deny the extraordinary success Bob Paisley had over his 9-year spell as manager of Liverpool Football Club. Replacing Bill Shankly in 1974, having been his assistant for 15 years, Liverpool were already a top side when Paisley came in. He took them to new heights though, winning 20 trophies in just 9 years. Among them were 6 First Division titles and 3 European Cups. No manager has won more of the latter, with only Carlo Ancelotti also having won 3. Paisley brought the likes of Kenny Dalglish, Alan Hansen, Graham Souness and Ian Rush to Anfield. He finished outside the top 2 in the First Division only once, guiding the Reds to European Cup final victories over Borussia Mönchengladbach, Club Brugge and Real Madrid. RINUS MICHELS. Named by experts as the second greatest manager of all time in 2013, RINUS MICHELS is a giant of the game. A man with an unerring vision of how he wanted his teams to play football, MICHELS developed the style known as total football, along with his star man and the style's key exponent, Johan Cruyff. MICHELS won 4 league titles with Ajax, reaching 2 European Cup finals, of which he won 1. He won a further league title in Spain with Barcelona and a European Championships with the Netherlands in 1988. The one trophy which eluded MICHELS was the World Cup, as his Dutch side were losing finalists in 1974. Helenio Herrera. A little unusual among truly great managers, Helenio Herrera was a bit of a journeyman, managing a plethora of clubs, mostly in Spain and Italy. The longest Herrera ever hung around was at Inter Milan between 1960 and 1968, where he won 3 Serie A titles, 2 European Cups and 2 Intercontinental Cups. His Inter Milan side would later become known as Grande Inter, such was their success, and they were renowned for their defensive solidity and counter-attacking brilliance, beating brilliant Real Madrid and Benfica sides in European Cup finals. As well as his success with Inter, the tactically astute Argentine won 4 La Liga titles, split between his time at Atletico Madrid and Barcelona, and 5 further trophies in Spain and Italy. Sir Alex Ferguson. We set out to compile this 7, expecting Sir Alex to finish 2nd or 3rd, due to the great Scot winning only 2 Champions League titles in his near 4 decades of management. That is the one great blot on Sir Alex's record, but when you look at his career as a whole, it's clear that he has to top this 7. After early success with St Mirren, the Glasgow-born boss moved to Aberdeen. He spent 8 seasons in Scotland's 3rd largest city, winning the 2nd, 3rd and 4th league titles in Aberdeen's history to disrupt the duopoly of Celtic and Rangers. Fergie won 11 trophies in his 8 seasons with the Dons, most notably winning the Cup Winners' Cup following a final win over Real Madrid. In 1986, he joined Manchester United, where he would spend the next 27 years. The Red Devils hadn't won a league title in 20 years and had played in the 2nd division more recently than winning the 1st. Over the following 27 seasons, United would win the title 13 times, along with 5 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, 2 Champions Leagues and 14 other trophies. Ferguson's ability to constantly rebuild sides at the same club that were capable of competing at the highest level and maintain such incredible standards, never allowing his team to become complacent or unmotivated, make him the greatest manager of all time. So that's it for our 7, but a handful of honourable mentions can be found in the video description below. Thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to HITC Sevens.